In this video, I'm going to show you how to use material instances of material masters to be able to do some cool things with controlling your materials and their instances. So let's go ahead and dive in. So what I do want to preface with this video is that we're not covering the actual process of creating materials or material instances, although you'll see how we do it. But the idea, generally speaking, is that you have some degree of knowledge of how to create a material and then create an instance of it. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in, and I'll show you what I have set up here real fast. So this is actually our material master. So this is what we're using. And again, not covering how this was set up, but the thing to take note of is that we have some parameters in here that will allow us to control various different things. In fact, we can see what that would look like here by our parameter defaults. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Apply this to this guy so we know that this is our master. Now, to create the material instance, all I need to do is right click on the master and create material instance. Okay, so if I double click the instance, which is what I created there, you'll notice that it looks different, and there are those parameters that we have exposed. Okay, so let me go ahead and just move this out of the way a little bit. We'll slide it over here. I'm going to go ahead and apply this material instance to our sphere on the left. Okay, so material instances, the beautiful part about this is I can actually go in from the original master and change various different things. So I could change the base color. I can actually give it some emissive. In fact, we'll keep that 0 for right now. But I could go and I actually set it to a metallic sphere. Maybe we'll do this and maybe give it a little bit of roughness. There we go. Okay, so now that I have this, I've got this material instance again, which is great. But we can take this a step further. Okay, so what I could do is I could actually go ahead and go into here and I could duplicate this, and we'll say that this is instance B, material instance, and I'll go ahead and apply this to the second sphere. Okay, so here's what I can do with the instances, which is probably pretty self-explanatory, but stick with me, this will make sense. If I double click this one, which is now applied to this other, I can go in and maybe change the color of it, and maybe I want to keep everything else that way. Okay. So I want these two spheres to be roughly the same. I want them to kind of look the same. I just wanted to change the color. Well, what happens if I get a change in direction, let's say, that says, hey, we actually don't need these to be metal. They need to be, non-metallic. So I'd have to go into my material A, take this metallic, change it down to 0, go into my other instance and change this down to 0. But if you recall, I really want to keep these things the same, minus I just want to change the base color between them. So this is where using an instance of an instance really comes in handy. So, okay, how do we do that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep these up on screen here real fast, and I'm just going to focus on our instance B material. So I'll go ahead and close A. This is all I need to focus on. So if you recall, in fact, I'll open this, both instance A and instance B have their parent material set to our original master, which is what we had. What I'm going to do is actually take our instance B and set its parent to instance A. Okay, so I'll go ahead and apply this. All right, no change. But here's what's different. I can actually uncheck the parameters that I don't want to change. That's the big key. So if you recall from instance A, I've set base color, metallic, and roughness over our base one. But in instance B, I just want to change the color. So by doing this, I'll show you the power here in just a second. By just checking the ones that I want to change my color, that will tell the material, hey, go ahead and change this from the parent, which in this case is the instance. Okay, cool. So here we go. This is where it's pretty awesome. So let me move this out of the way just a little bit. So now I'm controlling instance A. So again, if you recall, this is our master, which is the master one. Instance A, the parent is this, and then the parent of our kind of purple blue one is instance A. So if I go into instance A and now change the metallic to 1, you'll notice my other sphere updated as well. And that's because if we jump back over to instance B, I have it unchecked. Now if I didn't want it metallic, I simply check it, flags it, and overrides the parent. And that's it. So that's how you can use an instance of an instance to control your materials, again, without having to go into every single instance and change them one by one. You can kind of set a master which to control those instances. Again, rambling here. Hopefully that makes sense. That explains, again, a fun little technique of using an instance as an instance. Go as deep as you want to, but that's a super nice way to control the materials and make less headache for yourself. So hope you enjoyed that. We'll catch you on the next one.